lot of highlights from yesterday's meet. I could literally go through every single athlete, and I think there was a highlight. Part of the highlights, I think, was the fact that they weren't satisfied. They did well, but they knew they could do better, so they weren't really that excited. They were having a lot of fun, but not so excited. I was really happy with Lachelle on bars. She came in exhibition bars, and she came off the bars and she said, I can't believe I'm actually having fun competing bars now. We've changed her dismount, so she's not, worried about that. But she just swings so beautifully. If we can get her out there a little bit more and get her more comfortable so she'll hit her handstands, she can be another 9.9 plus for us. Cassie Whitcomb is really coming back. She's one of the best bar workers in the country, and we put her up exhibition, and she hit beautifully as well. The same thing. We got to get her more exposure so she's not tight on her handstands. I was actually, and I mentioned it yesterday in the post meet interview, I was really pleased with Maddie. Maddie knows that there's a lot of eyes on her, and she knows she's got a lot to lose, and she kind of brushes that off and tries to go out and really just compete for the team. But even in training, if she makes one mistake, she'll make 4 mistakes. And when she fell on beam, I thought, all right, Matt, now let's see what you got. And for her to come back and just regroup and not just hit her routine, but continue to perform, I think that was tremendous growth for a freshman and for someone in her position. So I was very, very pleased with that. It was fun seeing Lachelle go out and hit floor like she did. And it was really fun to see Alyssa Pritchett get out there, exhibition, and hit a nice, clean flow routine and be rewarded for it with her score. So the highlights probably were things that wouldn't make a highlight reel, but they were really important for us to grow as a team. Anybody who follows UCLA gymnastics, this isn't normal for us to be hitting, I should say, so early. But I'm not concerned at all, because even yesterday when we were going through it, the girls were kind of like, that was good, but we can do better. Or they would come off the event and they knew that, that was good, but I can do better. And I'm looking at these scores coming up going, well, if a base score for us is a 9.85, if Zamaripet does vault and it's bad, if she goes 9.9, okay, yeah, and let them think that, let the athletes think that, we did okay, but we can do better. And it's true, we can. We're not throwing full difficulty, not because there's this master plan to put it in later. We're not throwing full difficulty yet because the people that are upgrading aren't ready. Vanessa is not even on floor yet, and we need to get her back on floor. So she's going to come out watered down. Maddie wants to upgrade her floor routine, and there's this back and forth with us. Well, Matt, you got to hit a floor routine before we upgrade. But she's fully capable of upgrading. So maybe she will get a little bit more nervous, more anxious, and that will help her hit. As a coaching staff, we've got to weigh that. There are people like Elise Hoffner-Hibbs, where she had surgery at the end of season last year, and we're just thrilled to get her back in the all-around. So she's training a double out for her first pass. We will make that decision of whether we need to put it in or not. She wants to put it in, but the ankle that she had surgery on really can't take a lot of pounding. So the training program that she's on now is allowing her to do less gymnastics, less opportunity to land short, because we've changed her bar dismount also, and just go out and hit clean routines without anxiety, without stress, and without pain. So there's a lot going on with each individual. We would like to upgrade. The girls want to upgrade. Hopefully we will. How we're competing really isn't surprising to me. This is how we train. This is how we compete. And this is what's been really frustrating for me the last few years, was there's no reason for us to have made so many mistakes at the beginning of the season the last few years. And I was very worried that we were getting into this UCLA mentality where you can't hit until late February, early March, because that's ludicrous. That doesn't need to happen. You don't have to dig yourself a hole to be able to come out and climb up and reach your potential. You can start normal and then just keep inching your way up. So I've talked blatantly about that. the mentality of this team has to change. And there's no reason for the mistakes that we had made early on the last few years. Obviously, having a lot of depth is a blessing, and we're deep and we're healthy this year. And it is a struggle coaching to get the athletes that are working really hard and that are hitting really well and that aren't able to compete yet, to keep them hungry and to keep them fine-tuned. Because what I know, and what, if you've been in this, if you're a junior, senior, you're a coach, you understand that their opportunity will come up. And unfortunately, they've got to perform like it's mid-season. They don't get to come out and say, oh, it was my first meet. Because we're too deep. Right now, if you're going to come into the lineup, you got to be posting 9.85s and higher to break into the lineup. You can't start off building from your 9.75s like the people at the beginning of the season were able to do. And so I've had that discussion, especially with some of the freshmen. We've got some great talent, Dana McDonald and Alette Craddock, that are both ready to come in and not quite understanding, well, I don't understand why it's so important for me to stay razor sharp when I'm not going to come in and compete. And so it's not enough for me to just tell them and explain them the situation. They've got to live it without, knock on wood, someone getting hurt and having to throw them in. So this next week we're going up to Washington, and we're going to be taking a lot of interest in our lineup to get new people on the floor, to get those people that have just now started being successful to stay on the floor, like Lachelle Wong. I think Monique needs to come in. Tawny certainly needs more experience on balance beam. I think if Maddie's ankle is healthy, we need to get her back in the all-around. And I'd love to get some new faces in the lineup and get people like Kaylee Bear on beam. Okay, now you've done exhibition, you've hit, let's see what you can do to meet. Without dropping too low in the rankings. And so if we can figure that out mathematically, that's what we would like to do, our game plan going up to Washington. We go to Washington this week. It's a short week for us, and we come back, and the next home meet is going to be great. It's Super Bowl Sunday. We've upped our start time to 12:30 because I think it's going to be a great pre-Super Bowl fun for people to come out dressed as your favorite super action hero, or come dressed as your favorite Patriot or Giant fan, whichever you want to be. And the meet will be over by around 2:30, 3 o'clock, and just in time for you to go home and get some more pre-Super Bowl stuff in. But we're really excited to have Stanford, one of the top teams, not just in the Pac-12, but in the country, coming out for Super Bowl Sunday. And, we're notorious for not doing well against Stanford during the regular season. So we're hoping to right that wrong this year. And it's going to be a great meet. I suggest people get there early.